Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is the Paddock Podcast. Jay is here, Ronaldo is here, Adam McKola is here as well. We have got a lot to talk about. It's transfer deadline day. We're going to be looking at Man United's outs, Man United's ins, if there even is such a thing. Do we need to get rid of more players? Has Amorim been hung out to dry? There's a lot to chat about in the Jay.
Yeah, there is. It's weird because it's like we need so many players and we're so terrible and yes. Everything's awful. Yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago that it wasn't that bad. And now it's like we've got to sign someone desperately and we need to sign loads of players because the team's absolutely rubbish. It's just weird.
Do you agree that the team's absolutely rubbish, Ronaldo?
We're not far off being rubbish. I'll put it that way. I'm just going to sit on the fence.
No,
Do you know what it is? Like,
go on.
It's because we beat South. I think we've had good results recently, and I think a couple of the performances have been decent. But for a large part, it's been tough viewing in it the last couple of months or so. And where do we go from here? I'm not sure because it looks like the window is going to close without us getting any reinforcements. When we've seen Rashford leave and we've seen Ant leave in forward areas. I know people think that they're a net negative. Obviously, we've got Mount to come back, but I don't know. I'm concerned for the next 6 months.
How long is Matt out for? Another couple of months, isn't it? Didn't they say like 2 or 3 months? How are you feeling, Adam?
I'm all right. I mean,
some big size there that suggest otherwise.
I've just accepted. I don't care. I'm not getting into all the. I've been on Twitter a little bit today, seeing people just in meltdowns, just having conversations with themselves, contradicting themselves. I've seen people say, well, actually, I understand why we're not making any signings because, PSR, we don't want to make a rash signing that leaves us with PSR issues when we can just wait for the summer. The league season's over, so what's the point going mental and making a mistake? And then within a couple of seconds, they're tweeting, oh my God, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. This is a disgrace. They're not backing the manager and stuff like that. I'm not here to defend Ineos. I think they've made a lot of mistakes. But generally speaking, their transfer business, when you look at the profile of players that were signing, there was talk about us getting that. Is his name Kenda from Sporting Lisbon, who could be coming in. And when you look at the signings that we have made, I know there's a few under Ten Hag that we probably shouldn't have and wouldn't have made, but a lot of those signings make sense. We're signing young players that we can either sell on for a profit or we can develop and bring into the first team. So I understand the need to not rush into anything, especially when we're 14th in the league. Even if we went on a massive run between now and the end of the season, we finished 10th. The league campaign is over. Obviously, we still have cup competitions to play for, but I don't think we need to be making any rash decisions and trying to make a signing that will probably leave us in trouble in the next couple of months. And if there's players that we want to sign but can't sign to the summer, I'd rather see us wait for them anyway. And we've got some good young players in the academy coming through. I'm not saying throw them in at the deep end, but maybe we could see in some of the games, the league games from March, April, May, we just start to use a few of them, give them some minutes, give them some game time, and see where we stand. Also, I know everyone's kind of mad at Højlund and everyone right now, but the jury is still out on Højlund and Xerxes, and kind of let's see where we end up at the end of the season. I can't see Højlund really turning it around now, but he is a young striker who's still developing and could still turn it around. We've seen in Europe, his form is pretty good, generally speaking, in the Champions League and Europa League. In the Premier League is where it falls down, and I suppose that's the most important thing, is your Premier League form. But I don't feel the need for us to rush into making a signing that we'd regret later. And I'm happy to see us not do that. What do you want us to do? Go and sign someone for a big fee, and now all of a sudden in the summer we go, oh, these are crap.
It's a loan though. Like, what would you?
I wanted Evan Ferguson on loan.
I know you did, but
you know why? Because you capitalise off the fact that his stocks are low, and I don't think his stocks are going to be this low for that long.
People's arguments though against Evan Ferguson signing was he's another young, semi-unproven striker.
But he's completely different to the other two, I think.
Do you know what?
In terms of his profile, how he plays,
he's probably better than both. But obviously, he struggled with injury over the last year or so, and he's not been able to get into Brighton's side.
And the Mathys Tel ones is really confusing. Like, again, I like Mathys Tel is one of the most highly rated young players about. You look at his form at Bayern Munich. Maybe he hasn't set the world alight, but there's a player there. But Man United made an offer to bring him into the club. I think the first offer was Spurs, who put money up top for him to join. That got rejected by either the player or Bayern Munich. I think it was the player. And then Manchester United go in to make a loan with an obligation, which is then rejected, and now he's taken a dry loan, as they call it, to Spurs.
Yeah. So dry.
Maybe Bayern Munich didn't want to include an option, although that, again, I'm contradicting myself because they accepted a fee from Spurs. Like, it's all really confusing, but it might not be the case that Man United are to blame with that.
No, and also I do get that if Tel doesn't want to leave Bayern Munich, so it can only be a straight loan. Let's say that's the case, a dry loan, so not a straight loan, a nice dry loan. At that point, all you're getting is an out of form 19-year-old, which obviously that's not a bad. It's better than having no one in that position, and then he could easily come back to form. But this isn't the sort of environment where you're necessarily going to come back to form.
True,
but I would rather get Danny Welbeck on loan for 6 months than Tel on loan for 6 months.
How are they
if you got an option to buy,
that would make this transfer window the
he's
best
their
ever.
starting striker though.
Who? Welbeck.
And then
No,
just
of
let
course,
Evan Ferguson
that
go.
wasn't. I don't mean that's going to happen.
you're
I would rather get a 33-year-old who could get us 6 goals in the league than a 19-year-old who I think he scored 1 goal all season. If we can't have it as an option to buy,
but
that's what I'm saying.
the allure with Tel was the fact that he can play all 3 of the 4 positions.
Course,
and people are looking at it from a perspective of, well, is Tel going to come in and be some sort of game changer? That's not necessarily what people are saying.
Save us.
Do you know what I mean? It's not
1
that.
goal in 13.
Yeah, it's not. But it's not really about. It's more about the fact that we don't have that much depth in attacking areas, and he at least provides you another body when United are still in 3 competitions where one injury to maybe an Ahmad or even to a Garnacho, or even one of the strikers, and you're literally paper thin.
No, I agree with that. I'm not saying I would have hated
piece.
that. I'm not saying I would have hated that deal, but I'm not someone that's losing my head about the fact that Tottenham are getting him. Because if it's a loan, the age is irrelevant, the potential is irrelevant. You're just getting the guy they are right now. And again, we're probably just going to not get anyone, which then we can be frustrated about that.
But the good thing is,
I'm not too disappointed, really.
we bought in Patrick Dorgu, who's a position that we really need to get sorted out. And maybe then you get the options of Mazraoui or Dalot on the right. Dalot goes to his familiar side. You can play Ahmad a little bit further up. Like, it does change our options a little bit. And like I said, the league campaign's over.
Yeah.
I feel like without any major injuries, we've probably got enough to challenge for the Europa League. So,
do you reckon?
Why rush into anything mental? Like, I don't get this clamouring for, I just signed someone to just make me feel happy like that. Fuck that shit.
You do need players though.
I think it was a loan that people wanted. I don't think anyone was expecting United to splash any more money after Dorgu on like an attacker in actual buy. It's just people thought there's a market opportunity there with Mathys Tel, who obviously does have ability. He's doesn't really get into Bayern's team, and he's a player that can come in and cover 3 different positions. He might not necessarily start games, but at least there's a depth option there. Do you know what I mean?
Lie,
which United don't have.
I'm not crying because we haven't got him. I just think some people are just so mental about transfers.
What do you think, Jay, about, obviously, we're saying there that the league campaign's basically done. Any chance of Europe is going to come from FA Cup or Europa League, I think. If we keep losing in the league, though, does the pressure still mount on Amorim? Or does everyone, including the press and the papers and us and Ratcliffe and Twitter fans, does everyone just accept that whatever happens in the Premier League is irrelevant now?
There's 2 things to that, and I agree about the league. What are we playing for? To finish 10th. It gives a toss. But it's hurting me watching this every week. Like, it's nice to win some football matches now and again. Call me old-fashioned. But I don't really enjoy sitting there watching Bournemouth and Brighton and Crystal Palace players off the park, and even Southampton for an hour. It's just depressing. So it would be nice to get our act together in the league just for the sake of actually, some entertainment or some pride or anything. In terms of Amorim being under pressure, my only concern with that is, I think if you asked anyone around this table, we say, no, we understand what he inherited, we know what he's trying to do, we like him. He has had some good results, he's had a lot of bad ones, but we've beaten Arsenal, we've beaten Manchester City, we were a risk away from beating Liverpool at Anfield. He's not a bad manager, he's brought him for a reason, and he's trying to sort of stamp his authority in the team, including with some of the players that we've seen leaving. My only concern around all that is Ineos. I don't know about them. I don't know whether they might go, if we finish the season in 16th and he's lost 8 at home, whether they might lose faith in him a bit. Because he lost faith in Dan Ashworth because he did an interview in The Athletic they didn't like. So I just worry. That's my worry.
That was my thing. So the money that we used or we spent to sack Dan Ashworth, could that have covered a Mathys Tel loan fee?
I don't think. Well, it doesn't sound like it's the money that's the issue for a loan. I don't know.
He's apparently United
they can't
not
sack
wanting
him.
to.
I mean, it'd be gross negligence to sack him when you've brought in a manager mid-season that, if reports are believed to be true, he wanted to wait until the summer.
Yeah.
You bring in a manager mid-season, having just kept the manager that you were umming and ahhing and interviewing everyone over in the summer, spent another 200 million on him. You bring this new manager in, where the squad isn't set up to be ready for his tactics, his system. You don't bring anyone in for his tactics or system, bar a very young left wing back. I think it'd be mental to sack him now.
I agree, it would be. And I don't know necessarily even it's just sacking him. I think you mentioned it on a podcast a few weeks ago, Joe. They could just lose a bit of faith in him. He goes into the next season under pressure. Maybe they don't get him all the signings that he wants or whatever. Do you know what I mean? There's like, he's undermined a little bit by this poor run of foot. I just hope it's not like that. Because when Ten Hag went into this season, he went into it under a cloud, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was obvious they'd lost faith in him. And we all knew that. You could tell him in the interview.
I think there's no chance.
So
the start that Ten Hag had to this season wouldn't have got him sacked if they were his first 10 games.
No.
But it's because it was 2 years and 10 games that was the issue. That's my worry is, does Amorim start next season? And everyone goes, he's had a window now. Now you need to start playing well. And then if we're 8th after 10 games, then is it a genuine
I don't think he goes in the summer or anything.
No, I don't. Yeah,
but Ineos could panic in terms of the winning this next season. We haven't post that. And there was a lot of ifs here.
Can they afford to sack him? We talk about
and they go, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
You know what I mean? They couldn't afford to do it anyway.
I don't know. It depends. I mean, I think the results would have to be pretty drastic for them to even contemplate that.
Yeah.
But this run of form, if this run of form was to continue for the next 6 home games, then that is drastic. Now, I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying it's pause for thought for these people that have got a track record of being trigger happy at Manchester United and at other clubs they've managed or owned in the past.
But if, like, let's say we did bring Amorim in the summer, I prefer this way, you know. I know it's bad right now, but I prefer that he's been able to come in early and see some of these players for what they actually are. Because you know what would have happened? You see him in pre-season when the sun's on your back in wherever we are in America. Everyone's all having a nice little jolly. Training's going well. We win a few games in pre-season. And then we don't discover what we're discovering now until midway through next season.
Yeah,
like, it's nice to
when
be...
he's already had 150 million to go against his reputation
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. And now you probably wasted some money because you didn't know that you needed, let's say, a couple of midfielders when you were... Because these lot were, like, doing well in it. So I kind of like it that he's been able to come in, you know, address everyone. I know the results aren't going well. But I think we can do something in the Europa League, man.
Yeah.
It felt telling as well, didn't it, at the weekend, like, trying something completely new as well. He's still trying new things.
I thought that was a message to the board, you know.
Like, exactly.
It's
like, he's like, there's something going on there, and this isn't like, this is my team and this is how we're set now and everything's hunky-dory. He's basically Kobe Mainoo almost as a striker the other day.
At least shows he's trying things.
That's what I mean. Like, he's...
Yeah. And also, his 2 strikers that he has got, I think they've got 2 goals between them in the last 30 games.
That's a trouble, man.
So it's not, or last 27 games or something like that.
Goals numbers,
so it's not as though
buzzing with them
playing Kobe Mainoo,
especially if anything with the league,
scoring a 6 goal in a 6-0, and
the thing as well is, you know, Xerxes, he could have a great game and not score.
I think that,
you know,
that's what he,
that's what he is, isn't it?
He is, yeah.
Like,
I
he
think
could
the
be
best he is a great game and doesn't score,
which is a problem.
His best game was probably like that.
Everton.
Was it 60 minutes at Crystal Palace where he was like, he looked really good, didn't he? He was men, but and we sort of lost him when he came off, but he didn't score.
Yeah,
excuse me.
It is rough stuff. And we've got a few super chats, but before that, we are sponsored by Manscaped today.
That's a seamless segue there, Joseph. Yes. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jay.
Go on.
You've got so little hair on your body. You must be using something to get rid of it all.
I love Manscaped, right? Yeah. Because a man like me, it's not just down below that I want smooth. No. It's there as well. It's that bit. That's why I love the beard and balls bundle, right? And I know what you're going to say. Well, what are you getting beard and balls bundle? Obviously, you're getting a Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Yeah? What else are you going to get?
What is the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra?
It's probably the biggest advancement in below-the-waist grooming the world has ever seen.
Interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Honestly. It's got the 2 interchangeable blades. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
Is it true that to trim your pubes before this, you used to use one of those wind-up chattering teeth, but you'd sharpen the teeth on it and just let it on your nuts and bolts?
Yeah, that was for me.
On your nuts and bolts.
On your nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
And
you just get some really funny looks.
So that's obviously the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra.
Yeah.
What about for the beard? What are you using for that?
I'm using the beard hedger because it's got one of my favourite things ever, which was the title of your second album, I believe, 20 length options. Yeah? So that's what you need. You can have a beard like yours, Joseph Single, can have one like Ronnie's single, one like McKola, Macca's single, there you go, or one like me. Non-existent. Shit. Yeah, you can. What do you mean shit?
When you grow a beard, you look like.
You looked to me and you went shit.
No, when you grow a beard, you look like one of the the chipmunk's dad. You know Alvin, Simon and Theodore, they've got a dad.
This is an insult, but I'll take it as a compliment.
And it's like, could you proper tidy it, don't you?
You helped me.
I didn't help you.
What you did, we told me what to do. What to get. And then I shaved it off and you didn't notice, so I was disappointed.
What, a chin strap goatee?
It wasn't a goatee. It was like a full, but it was a lockdown thing. It was a lockdown beard.
Their dad's a human.
Yeah.
No, I'm on about the big fella chipmunk.
Well, can we get to the? I mean, by all means, insult me and call me a chipmunk. I don't mind that bit. But I just want to get to the bit about the 20% off and the free shipping before we go to the chipmunk story.
I can go to Manscaped's website, pay full price. I could always do that. But what do we do differently, Jay?
We use the code Paddock24. You get 20% off and free shipping. Yeah.
Can't argue with that, can you?
Yeah. And also, we know it's 2025. Yeah. We are going to get that code changed, but for the time being, it's Paddock24. Check the link out in the description. Use that code. You get 20% off and free shipping. Your balls will thank you.
Thank you very much.
Go on.
I'm going to need
in the comments, Joe Cochran says, "Tell us about the Pube Destroyer 7.0." That hasn't.
Is that your mum's nickname?
That isn't my mum's nickname. No.
She's 5.0 in it.
Wow.
10.0.
Oh, 7 editions.
You're welcome. Let me get into some of these super chats because it's transfer deadline day. And let's get your thoughts in the comments. Falcon Shuffle 24 says,
class name.
"What was the point of all the money saved if it wasn't meant to sign players?" Well, it might help us sign players in the summer. It's not. You don't have to spend that money instantly.
No.
Do you? It's not going to disappear like Cinderella. Yes. Flaws says Hoyland has had 3 managers and he's young. When Gyökeres was his age, he was at Coventry. Let's give him time. I agree, let's give him some time.
But there's a big difference with learning your trade at Manchester United and learning your trade at Coventry.
Yeah.
I agree with that super chat, by the way. And I've said that for a while with Rasmus Hoyland. Like, the underlying stats generally are quite good for him, his goal conversion rate and all that. But the trouble is, he don't do... Great strikers make bad passes look good. That's something that I always stand by, and I don't think he does that enough.
I think he's lost confidence, Hoyland.
Oh, massively.
He looks like he's absolutely bereft of confidence, and you can sense it as well, like the crowd and stuff. Yeah. And he's just like, oh.
Do you know what's really cool?
Get up! I feel for him. I do.
Because obviously, I know he gets criticised, and I think rightly so for some of his movement in the box and some of his runs that he makes and all that. But when he doesn't play, the other alternatives don't get any more chances. It's not like Xerxes isn't having 6 shots a game. No. It's like. Maybe we just got no good strikers, and that's always going to be an issue. But everyone struggles to get shots, except basically Garnacho, who cuts inside and smacks them and does a good job of it. No one's getting loads of chances for United.
Because it could be argued that United could sign an attacker, and then they'll just have the same issues as the other attackers have had, which is no one really giving them the ball in the right areas. Or do you know what I mean? So it could be.
What's going on over there?
Nothing's going on.
We've got to read Ryan Pitt's comment.
No, we've got a super
Ryan
chat.
Pitt.
No, we've got a super chat.
The title of Joe's mum's album is 20 different lengths.
Right, I will not have Joe's mum bandied around.
I love that.
Do you know what that is? It's because she grows a lot of sunflowers and she keeps track of how tall they are. Cyrus says,
jumping up and down.
"What if Amorim isn't as good as we all believed?" I'm not entertaining that. Yeah, me too.
We can't say that. Let's not do that, bro. I refuse.
No.
You know that meme with that guy going, no.
That's not an option that I can allow through my head. Akash says,
I can't do this again.
McKola is spot on. I don't want to get sucked into a pan.
Hello.
I haven't finished the sentence yet.
He comes to the wrong podcast.
I don't want to get sucked.
Do you not?
You don't want to get sucked
into a panic acquisition on loan or permanently.
Right,
as crazy as this sounds, we may have to coach our way out of this. I think for the remainder of the season, it's looking like that is the case. Chris Christodoulou says, "Hi gents, do you see us ever winning the league title again under this ownership?
Yes.
We've lost some high-profile players, but no ambition to replace them." I think we do have ambition to replace them. I just think they don't want to replace them with rash Casemiro and Anthony type signings where it's the last day of the window and we need something, just do what it takes, like you were saying before.
Still recovering from that.
I'm going to cry, when we do win the league again.
We're still recovering from that 150.
I can't wait. Your old boy cried when we won the league.
Yeah, my dad and his mates. I remember in '90 when Oldham beat Villa and that gave us the league, and they were all crying. I was like, "What were these like?" Because they were not.
That's going to be us,
That'll be us. Yeah, I'll be blubbery. If I'm not in a
like bogey bubbles, everything.
In a wheel, just absolutely 93 years old.
Yeah, it's going to be horrible, isn't it? Sweating
dribbling in the porridge.
your jacket and stuff. 'Cause he's so nervous.
Check this out from Lee Dixon. All these YouTubers won't call Amorims, plural by the way, out because they want their media passes. When was the last time us fuckers were in a media room, by the way, dickhead? It was like the same thing with, they'll only be nice to Rashford because, I don't know, either he's paying us or something like. You think if we were that close to Rashford, he wouldn't have had a fucking 90-minute interview on the channel at some point?
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to use your brain sometimes.
I think it's...
Absolute knobs.
We should start using the media passes we get off Amorims.
Yeah, we should actually.
Yeah, Amorim, nice one for all their media passes.
I mean, we've never even spoken to
Can't move for us at Carrington. Fucking
media
hell.
passes.
Yeah.
On the payroll.
Yeah.
And he can't even get an haircut.
You know, I would love one of them.
I swear on our jeans' eyes.
I hope that's the actual Lee Dixon as well. Former Arsenal Lee Dixon, not just someone with the same name. Yeah. Mike says the players are simply not good enough. None of this is the manager's fault. None. Sir Alex Ferguson couldn't win with these. Incompetence if you blame anyone else. Some of the passing yesterday, like there was a point where we're 1-0 down, we're going for it. Like we got and like. I think it was Xerxes
who gave the ball away when they scored.
It's like, well, I think he was trying to play it out to Garnacho, and the ball required was one down the edge of the 18-yard line for Garnacho to come over here, and he ends up controlling it on the touch line, barely keeping it in. Yeah. And that was just one example. It was bad touches, heavy touches going to the opposition players, overhit passes, just like basic 5, 10, 15-yard passes that any of us would be disappointed if we misplaced. Are being misplaced over and over again. I don't know whether it's their overall quality or confidence or both, but some of the just quality of our play is awful at the minute. The players are playing awfully. It's so bad.
Listen, we all back Amorims. Because I don't want to lose my media.
All three of them.
All three of them, yeah. Do you have any criticism of him, Bo, on the way he set up yesterday? Or any with any of this? Or do you think like he just inherited a mess? He's trying...
The main old thing, look, do you know, for the first 20 minutes, I was like, fucking hell, we're onto something here.
I know, we had that chance. I was like, yes, go on.
We had like 3 half-decent chances, didn't we, in like the first 17 minutes. The cutback that got blocked. Yeah. I think Garnacho had a second shot, and there was one where he turned and just played it across the 6-yard line when there was no one there. But I thought, we're getting in good areas, we're doing, and then from the 17th minute to like the 80th minute, nothing happened, did it?
No, it was. They had more. They had quite consistent amount of chances.
Yeah. Now we're so uninspiring going forward, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just depressing. I thought the only reason I start is because at some point you can two things can be true. You think he's the right man for the job, and he's made a couple of mistakes. Like, it felt a little bit like the Newcastle game yesterday, where
what mistakes do you think he made? Just the setup up front.
Yeah, he didn't really work, did it? It was a bit. I know we wanted to see Manu further forward. I didn't want to see him as like almost like a striker. I think we needed a striker in there. We needed to maybe give their defenders something more to do, because they had an easy afternoon.
Is it that Amorim alone, though, or is it more so an indictment on Xerxes and Højlund, the fact that they're playing so poorly?
Maybe it is,
bro. There's a midfield player being played up front ahead of him.
It is a message to them, innit? Like, if you're trying a 19-year-old who's not a striker,
you wouldn't have selected that if them strikers were playing well and scoring goals.
I think it's so important as well, because the striker should be able to help us fucking play out of the press and all that sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
Don't allow it any time, and then you got Anana will lump it to him. When we try and go above it, he'll lose the ball, come straight back. We pass around and get the ball to him, and we lose. So it's so important having someone that can just hold it. That's why we look so different when Xerxes plays, you know.
Do you think that's, in terms of our just going forward anyway, not even defensively, it's going to be much worse now that obviously we're not mentioning yet, but Lisandro Martinez possibly been out for the rest of the season? Yeah.
It's mad that we just signed Aiden Heaven as his backup.
Exactly. Yeah, Heaven Gate's open, innit? I don't know. It was like, but with Martinez, I'm concerned because I think he's our by far and away best ball player out of the back, mate. And we struggle to get forward into final third areas consistently anyway. Yeah. So without him, I actually think we might even get worse going forward.
Think of the last which is weird to say handful of games where I think we won 5 of our last 6 before the Palace game. He scored 2 goals in those games. And those clip passes that he was doing over the top were dangerous, like consistently threw balls in behind, playing it to the striker's feet. His progressive passes this season have been ridiculous, Martinez. Like way above average for a defender, but like way above average.
No, you're right in everything you've all said. Also with Martinez, he's up for it. He looks like he wants to be there. He's one of the few that does. Do you know what I mean? He gets people going. He's vocal. He's like, sometimes you look throughout that team, there's not enough of those types of characters. So he's got the ability and he's got that personality as well, which you need and we're lacking, and then to lose him and the way we lost him as well, it was pretty devastating, I thought, because like you said, he's been one of our better players, especially over this last month or so.
It seemed as though when Martinez came back from his injury, it seemed slow in terms of getting back to how good he was. But it did look like recently he was going a little bit more back to himself. And then the injury, that's why you could see that he was so emotional. It was tough to watch.
Yeah. It's so weird, by the way, how few chances our strikers get, you know.
Go on.
Because do you know, like Beto for Everton, who is not a good striker?
Did he score an hat-trick at the weekend, or was that someone else? Who scored an hat-trick for Everton at the weekend?
I don't know. He's got 3 goals all season, so it could have been in one game. I don't think it was. I think he got... Maybe he did. Anyway.
I don't know. I might just make it
He's averaging 3.3 shots per game, right? Liam Delap, who plays for Ipswich, these are the worst teams in the Premier League, is averaging 2 shots per game.
Good player to him.
Cunha is averaging 3.29 shots per game, right? João Pedro, another one. These are that kind of like decent striker, but playing for pretty poor teams. Is averaging 2.5 shots per game. Xerxes is averaging under 2 shots per game, and Højlund is averaging under 1 shot per game. 1.4 shots per game. Like our strikers
don't want to shoot. That's the problem with him.
But our strikers are literally shooting half as often as Everton strikers, who would like sack their manager, flirting with relegation. And it's Beto. He's not even. It's not like Cunha, who's at Wolves, who's a genuinely very good player. Beto is a bang average striker. Bang average.
Yeah, he is.
And between him and his teammates is managing over double the amount of shots of our number 9s. That is just wrong, isn't it? That can't carry on. No wonder we don't score any goals. It's absolutely ridiculous that. I don't know how they fix it, because it's been a problem for 4 years now. We've scored less than 60 goals in the last 3 Premier League seasons, and we're going to do it again this season.
It is. It's really sad.
It's mad, isn't it?
Okay, they're having a go at Martinez for doing his crew shirt. Jeez.
Who said that?
What's he said?
Okay, no.
What?
Never want to see him in a United shirt again. He's a disgrace.
What?
Because he got injured. Okay, now.
Hey?
That's
an insane thing to post. What? I don't know.
Before anyone brings anything up about Luke Shaw, I don't have a go at him for being injured. I have a go at him for going away with fucking England and then getting injured. Dick.
Von Maxwell with the
Funny how he's back, innit?
Yeah, just as
Dorgu arrives.
Luke Shaw opens the door for all these new left backs and just trips them as they come in, and just like
and then injures himself in the process.
No, not this time. Von Maxwell said, "We all share the same perspective, Adam. I appreciate you lads lowering the anxiety from this chaos. We'll return to the top. I'm sure of it."
It could be that.
Could be 20, 30 years.
It could be that, or it could be just because I'm just emotionally disconnected from this mess. I think, you know what? I think letting Rashford go is just...
Come on.
Took the soul.
It's a death of my romance with football.
Really? Is that the final straw?
No Marshall, no Rashford, no Adam.
You sound generally sad though.
You're just holding a Porto shirt. Adam McKola has switched. He now supports Porto. Just completely gone. I imagine that. You got traded to support another team.
Adam is Player FC. Oh, fuck off. Do you know what Player FC was at the start? It was just a little joke, little Marshall FC. Oh yeah, a little bit of fun. And people go on like it's a genuine. We've set up like FC United type clubs.
I know. People get absolutely infuriated if you suggest that.
Yeah.
I'm David Beckham FC as well. How about that?
Do you know Marshall ain't got injured since he left United?
Bit of sun on his back.
Didn't Anthony get man of the match or something for Real
Yeah,
Betis?
I watched that game.
Mate, did you see the state of it?
He was loan watch.
No, did you see the
no,
state
I
of it?
didn't, obviously.
You know what was funny, yeah? I seen that and I went, let me check what actually happened in this game.
Don't do this.
And everyone kept saying, Anthony was man of the match, but no one was saying Anthony scored, Anthony had an assist. Check some of the highlights. One of his shot went about, there could have been 3 goals there on top of each other. It still would have went over.
I did see
his assist came from him having a shot because he's a greedy little shit. And it bounced off the keeper and someone scored. That's not a pass. That's a shot. Yeah, how's that an assist?
A rebound still
He did
counts.
fuck all. I feel like it was give him man in the match.
I hope he does well and gets his permanent move. I do. I want him to do well and we get some money for him.
It's a good team as well, by the way, in Athletic.
Do you know what I mean? That's the dream scenario here, isn't it?
Is that the same case for like Rashford as well?
I think
in a way you need him to do well.
I'm saddened by what's happened to Rashford, but I feel like Rashford at United is done. I just do. I just don't think he's happy anymore. It's not working out. Obviously, him and the manager, it's untenable. So yeah, it probably is best that he scores goals for Villa and unfortunately moves permanently because we've not got.
Right?
I'd love it if he did, but I just don't see that realistically happening.
Could still come back, couldn't he?
I think if I'm... I doubt it. It's not...
Bro,
I think,
say this
Just tell
every
me
year
you
about
can.
Danny Welbeck. Do you know what I mean? One day.
He might come back one day, yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably get Rashford back when he's 35.
Hang on a sec, you're slagging off Anthony.
Go on.
He won 1 duel in that game yesterday, so now he's got egg on the
enough.
face. Admittedly, he did lose 6 duels, but he had 2 shots and 2 chances created.
I think I've seen an all-action,
what a
every single
performance.
action comp or something.
The good thing for Anthony,
And he was just okay. He was,
and he had a chance under Amorim. He got a chance. Amorim gave him some minutes. He just weren't happening.
Also, but people going, oh no, we need to replace Anthony. Do we? Really? We have
not
to
been a
replace
first
the
team.
guy that was getting 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 effort, just stinking the gaff out.
He didn't even get minutes in the cup
Really?
final, did he? Even Tanag gave up with him.
Yeah.
But it says a lot when the manager who spent 80 million quid on you doesn't play you in the biggest game of the season.
Looking back, did Hoyland get minutes in that game?
I think he came on.
Did he?
My memory's very sketchy on that.
Anthony didn't
In the
start.
FA Cup final.
Casemiro didn't start. Hoyland didn't start.
There was rumours that Casemiro
That's
spat
like-
his dummy out, didn't he? That he wasn't in the
So
squad.
that's like 200 million quid's worth of Ten Hag signings, and he didn't even play him in a game that was to save his career.
I know.
That's
See,
mad,
it's
isn't it,
little
really,
things
when
like
you
that,
look
though.
back?
I can,
Rashford
like,
was
That should have told us everything we needed
what's
to
gonna
know, shouldn't it?
What's going to happen with Casemiro, by the way?
He's
Sterling-
going.
He'll go for like 20 million in the summer.
I'm not even sure we'll get that.
No, but he
Saudi,
doesn't get
innit?
played
Should
at
be.
all.
No, I know. Well, the Collier's ahead of him now. It's just mad. The whole squad is Amorim's just come in and gone, everyone's shit. Casemiro, like all the top, who's your top earners? Right, and Rashford, frozen out. Casemiro, frozen out. Anthony, gone. Like, all these
Lindelof
players-
hiding below the
Lindelof-
physio bed
do you think, like, Amorim
as well.
Do you think Amorim
I think
was
Lindelof
chatting
Lindelof
to his
comes in
mates?
with like he working in the kitchen. He's got like a little pen, and every time Jim Ratcliffe comes in, he just turns away and like stirs.
As soon as the window's over, he just appears in
he's
the
back
changing room
training again. Come on,
Oh, mate.
lads.
Dressed as a tree walking behind him.
Just like shuffling in, hiding his footprints
Mate,
behind him with a little brush.
I
like
reckon if
something
he gets
Peter
asked a
Pan.
question about Lindelof, I think if Amorim gets asked in the press
Like
conference,
Van Gaal with
he'll be
Mike
like,
Smalling.
Like, wait,
Yeah.
What,
Who?
the Benfica player.
yeah, Lindelof.
Lindelof.
Shit, I'm
That
gonna go
was
back in and
was
check.
it Poch or Maresca who said that?
Maresca.
There were players at
Yeah, he
Stamford
didn't know.
Bridge
He didn't know.
at their training ground at Cobham.
And he was
He
like,
didn't even. He wasn't even aware who they were.
It's
You
no
just see
wonder,
lads
is it?
walk past him with their boots like.
Who is that?
Who is
We
that?
spent 60 million quid on that guy. It is mad, isn't it? And it is mad the way football is at the minute. I'm worried, you know. When I see Nottingham Forest losing 5-0 to, was it Brighton? No, who did Bournemouth?
They beat
and
Brighton,
then beating
didn't they?
Brighton 7-0.
Yeah.
And all of those teams beat us. The Premier League is so good. Like, the standard of the non-elite teams in the Premier League is they would be sort of challenging for league titles in most leagues
Yeah, I
in the
agree with
world. And we are nowhere near them. And there's like 10 of them that are better than us. It's tough. It's going to be really hard to like come back and consistently stay above Brentford's and Forest and Bournemouth's and them lot before we even worry about Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, so with the current like squad composition, if you're looking at Europa, FA Cup, and Premier League, what prospects you have for any of those competitions for the rest of the season with no more signings? Even though one signing might not necessarily make a difference.
We
but
can win the Europa.
Do you reckon we can win? The current squad can win the Europa League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the biggest
Have you seen the
teams
state of them in some
the
of these big
Europa?
games?
Is it
They actually turn up.
who's the biggest
Yeah.
team show? Is it
Uh,
Lazio,
yeah.
Spurs?
So the big ones to worry about.
I promise you, if we
I
played Spurs in a final tomorrow, no matter what team
I'd
turns
back
up,
us against
we
Spurs.
beat Spurs in a final.
The big teams to worry about that are still in are Athletic Bilbao, who I think are 3rd or 4th.
Who Anthony was just man of the match
the
against,
Liga.
by the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but they've had a very good season.
Okay.
Who
now.
Besiktas beat a couple of games ago.
That's
under
true.
Wally.
But they got 19 points.
Besiktas went out, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think the game before that they beat Bilbao.
Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they? 4-1.
But yeah, they got 19 points. Lazio, another one. I'd hope we could beat Lazio.
Last time we played Lazio in Europe, they beat us in the Super Cup final 1-0.
Knowledge.
I think like one of Lazio's star
After we won
players
the treble.
is Matteo Guendouzi.
Is it?
Yeah.
Who scored?
The Guendouzi.
Yeah.
99. Jesus.
For Lazio.
For Lazio.
Super Cup final. Bring it up. I know the goal scorer.
Go on. Yeah, I haven't got a jar of glue. I'll let you guys guess. I can't-
Varane was playing. Sven-Göran Eriksson was manager.
You're never going to get it. He
I know
knows it
who
because
it
he
is.
can remember it.
I
If
can't.
you're not going to guess
I
it.
was
I had it
worse
on
for wear
tape.
during the late 90s.
I don't take
Marcelo Salas.
Salas.
Really?
Am I right?
Yeah.
The Chilean superstar.
There you go.
Yep.
So the other top teams in the Europa then are
Give your knowledge proper good.
That's good. That.
Tottenham, Eintracht Frankfurt,
Really
Lyon,
good.
and Ajax can do you on any given day. Sociedad, Galatasaray, Roma.
There's a lot of teams there that can
Porto.
do us.
Frankfurt
That's
just
the
lost
thing.
Marmoush as well, isn't it?
Yeah. and gained 80 million euros in the process. So we're
in the mix.
Like,
we're not. I don't think we're favourites. Look,
I think we are technically favourites, but I think Bilbao would beat us over in a final, definitely, and maybe even over 2 legs.
We've just got to sort our fucking home form out, mate, because we ain't beating anyone. Seriously, you've got to get a grip of this. It's really
you know,
concerning.
the other day at Craven Cottage when Edwin Van der Sar walked past the away fans.
Yeah,
we should have booed him.
Why is that?
Because he sold us Anthony for £85 million.
He's got a job to do.
Yeah, but you say that, but think about the time he sold us Van der Beek for 40 million.
Oh, yeah. And then 125 million down the drain.
And then the cheeky bastard sent us a letter saying, look after it. You fuck off.
How about you look back and look after that money because we're going to want it back soon.
Oh, he knew it.
Please look after this player. It's terrible.
Should have booed him, man.
Come on, man.
Should have booed him.
I wouldn't
so
go.
harsh.
I mean, of all the players you shouldn't boo, Edwin van der Sar's probably top of that list.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he should have got booed for selling us Anthony.
Just boo him for a little while. This is just ranting. Boo. Love you now.
Yeah, and then cheer him for what he did for
United. And the fact he's ace.
What about the £40 million loan fee for Rashford? Not loan fee, sorry, potential option to buy if they want to.
And they're paying,
like
they're paying his wages,
75%.
majority, which is what's that going to come up to, about $250 a week?
I think
$1 million a month. So you're going to get six million out of him. Is there a fee? A loan fee?
No,
Not sure.
no. It's just wages, I think.
So you could end up turning over like 46 million. I would be a bit hesitant about agreeing a fee.
Hello, sorry about that. This stream just dipped for a second there. Not sure exactly what happened.
Bring it up slow.
No, what I was going to say is I think Rashford doing poorly at Villa would be the worst case scenario for United.
Yeah,
or for us anyway. We actually need him to go there and smash it, in all honesty. Because we need a little bit more leverage in terms of getting a decent fee from him this summer if he is going to leave. And if he doesn't, then we're in a issue then where he's still contracted to us. They're not obligated to buy him, and then we kind of having to like shop him.
Yeah.
With his value not being necessarily high.
It'd be horrible if it didn't work out for him.
Yeah,
it would be terrible.
He's got till 2028 on his deal.
And like even the manager aren't speaking. Just imagine him coming back and just you know what I mean?
I think it's going to go well.
Like honestly,
he's in a better team anyway.
He's in a better team. He's a good manager there.
It's mad as well for him. He's never, he's always been at United, hasn't he? Just getting away from that bubble.
Might be a good laugh for him.
Do you think Villa could end up scamming their way to like Champions League?
They've got a good team as well. You look at he's going to have to fight for a spot in the team for starters, but he could look good in that team with the likes of Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins and stuff like that.
Bailey's not going anywhere, is he? Staying.
He better not take him. A couple of years ago, I would have.
We were linked with him, weren't we, before we got Sancho. It was like if we didn't get Sancho, we were going to get Bailey.
Yeah. At that point, he was one of the most in terms of goals and assists. He had most contributions for a winger, I think, in top 5 leagues.
It's crazy though, because I think Leon Bailey, if
he would be good though. Wearing Jamaica shirts to Old Trafford.
Underwhelming as it seems, I feel like he might even start both for United.
No, I mean, he'd definitely start. But it's just
Leon Bailey. Yeah, he probably does.
He got 10 Premier League goals last season.
Like, he had a good
season
last season.
He's got 1 the year before that.
I think it was that season.
Like I
think he had like 15 goals, 15 assists.
He's one of them when he's on it. I've watched him a few times when he's on it. He looks amazing. And when he's not, you think, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. A lot of teams have players like that though. Like you look at, I know that goals and assists isn't the only thing, but eventually, if you want to win games, someone's got to get goals and assists. So they do matter. Most teams players don't do very well. Like there's only like Leon Bailey's the sort of player that at the end of last season, if you'd have said let's get him in, everyone would have loved it. And most years in his career, he's getting 5 goals, 6 goals, 7 goals, 12 goals, like all competitions. Yeah, obviously, But it's like we hold everyone at United to such a ridiculous standard that. If you get that for Man United, you consider a flop and everyone hates you.
You know what I hate?
And yet you're smashing it for Villa.
What's his assist numbers for the seasons?
I hate how nowadays, people put goals and assists together.
Goal involvement.
Goal
contributions. Like, he's got 50 goal contributions. Wait a minute. How many of them are goals, you dickhead?
Do you not care about assists?
No, I do, but come on. Some of it's it's like the juice in the numbers a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Depends who you're talking about as well, man. I hate when people bring up like Scholes' goals and assists. Like that doesn't tell you the story of what he was about.
Yeah, it's got to be contextual. You can't
so and so's got more assists than Paul Scholes ever managed. Well, do you ever watch Paul Scholes? Like, just shut up.
No.
Silly arguments based on stats.
Which it is mad though, because I do think
Stats
United
are
are in a position to kind of scoff at the idea of Leon Bailey. Though. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, mate. At a minute, you're almost at that stage, aren't you, where you'd be like, well, and almost anyone in the top half of the table
Here's a
gets
question.
into our
Leon
team.
Bailey's had one good season in his 3.5 at Villa.
Right.
Here's a question.
Fact,
His last season.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the season before that is with Steven Gerrard stinking place out. So
True.
take that one off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that doesn't count. Because every
Yeah.
United player's had
That-
shitloads
yeah.
of good managers every time.
Dream deadline day signings. Go.
Danny
Danny
Welbeck.
Welbeck for you. You're
Yeah.
not allowed to
Like,
say
so
Welbeck.
can it be delusional?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
on. It's dream, innit?
Even better is delusional.
What, and you can have anyone on earth and you're picking Danny Welbeck?
Yes.
Do they have to be remotely feasible, though?
Anthony Marshall
You can't pick, like...
Rodrigo.
from
Yeah.
Real Madrid.
Yes.
Hey, he wants to
Ever
come
since you said that he weren't
Marshall
that
would
good.
have been mint for Amorim, you know.
Do you know ever since you said Rodrigo's not that good, he's been absolutely flying.
Who said that to me?
Yeah.
I didn't say such a thing.
You said it to me, I swear.
I thought there's loads of Rodrigos though. I wasn't sure which one you were talking
Probably
about.
AI
Oh.
generated that mucker.
I
Wasn't
thought
you?
you meant.
Nah, 'cause he-
you
nah,
know
'cause
that
he-
other Rodrigo.
Go on.
Yeah,
Go on,
one.
Joe.
It's 'cause
In
he-
fact, who's your one?
Just told you, Anthony Marshall.
Right, okay.
Bring Marcus Rashford back.
Right.
Rashford.
Imagine.
Adam's dream deadline day signing is Marcus Rashford. Like we let go today.
What are you laughing for?
I'm not.
I
Shouldn't
love
laugh
that.
at people's dreams, Joe.
I love
Sorry,
that.
mate.
Who's yours, Jose?
That's a great shot.
Never
from
had a dream come true
Antonio Valencia.
to the day that I found
Valencia
you,
would be
Joe.
good. It's hard, isn't it? Maybe someone like I don't know. Everyone's shit.
And
You asked the
Herrera.
question,
I'm
you
just
don't have a
sick
thing.
of it.
Have a thing in your
I'm just sick of everyone. I'm sick of football.
Yeah.
It's so crap at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
it
just
is.
feel like who's going to come in? No one. We're going to get like someone saying there, Cunha, decent shout. Someone like
Just
that.
sign
would
a
be cool.
contract, then.
It
Yeah,
is possible. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Marcus
Paul
Rashford
Pogba?
pick here.
Bring him back.
You get him in March.
But you can bring him, but you got to bring him back now, though, don't you?
He probably walks into the team as well. That's bad.
Yeah, he's not running into it.
Where would
'cause
he play?
fucking
Nah,
did
yeah.
his ankle if he did.
He could
Up
play
top.
left 10 maybe.
We're not having that.
He's not. He wouldn't want a fucking. With me and you did this the other day. He would not want
I'd
to come
do
back
it.
to us.
I'd
He
do
wouldn't,
it.
and he won't anyway, and he shouldn't.
I would do it.
He'll come back and end up with Mason Mount, Luke Shaw in the fucking treatment room.
I'd do it.
Do you know what I mean? That'd be our.
Someone said Lamine Yamal could shot.
Yeah, he'd be good. he seems pretty good, doesn't he?
He seems alright.
Should we do it?
Who's your Wally
Go
of
out
the
for
week?
Lamine.
Oh yeah, good.
Bring
Go on.
Pogba back.
Wally of
Wally of the week.
I think it's
let's
just
do it.
Man United.
Man United.
Yeah,
Because
just
they're just shit.
just awful. They're just
Yeah.
awful. No one can pass. I
Yeah.
can't believe no one can pass the ball 5 yards.
Yeah.
It's absolutely absurd. We're just absolutely terrible. We had that first 17
Do you think
minutes
it's
of that,
anxiety?
We're going. Yeah, of course.
I think our
Loads
players
of it
play
is
with a
that.
lot of anxiety, don't
Yeah,
they?
they
It
look
seems that-
terrified, all of them. And whenever Amorim said that, and everyone was like, "Oh, you can't be like that in front of your fans." They are. You can see they are like that.
You
whether,
can.
Whether they, yeah, they can. Whether they should be or not, that is what they play like.
Yeah.
So they are terrified. They look terrified. They miss a couple of chances, and everyone just becomes me. Like, can't do anything, can't run, can't pass. So just United, and it's just a
United.
disaster in it. And the fact that we've not got anyone in, I know that I don't want us to rush into making a mistake, but wouldn't it have been nice if we'd have done something good instead? Dorgu's a decent signing, but imagine we'd gone, wow, really impressed with this window.
Yeah.
Like, oh right, and now we're on to the last day, so anything we do is going to be a rush. But it didn't have to be like this.
No, it didn't.
We've
It
had
feels
30 days plus, I don't know, 6 months of the season where we've
And we've
known we
got-
were shit.
That's
a
the
lot
whole
off
thing.
the wage bill, haven't we, with Anthony and
Angel
Rashford?
Gomez.
Who's your Wally of the week, Adam?
Erling Haaland, yo. That game, I hate Arsenal, but you know what? It was so funny.
Yeah, they had him off. They had it.
They were
they had
absolutely
him off
dunking on
yesterday.
his head top, weren't they?
He
All
scored
over
as
the
well.
place.
Is mad?
They
but-
did his celebration. Little kid did his celebration. Gabriel, the fake hard man, was giving him a hard time. I
Like, they were
just found
playing
it
that
hilarious.
humble as well, and like, mate, I
Sit
just
down.
can't be doing with Arsenal.
You
They're
know
so
what's-
rattled all the time.
So shit.
To be
Remember
fair,
when Jesse
give you the
Lingard
big one as
danced,
well,
and then
and then
all their social was like, it's our dance floor, when they won't beat us next time. Like, move on.
I think with Arsenal fans, I
Fake is
think
hard,
they're just
isn't it?
overcompensating now because they have had like a really difficult 15 years.
Yeah.
So I think now that they've got a little bit of joy and positivity, now they're going over the top with
that'll
it.
be us when we get to
Do you know what I mean?
11th. We'll be like, fucking getting the bunting out, the way things
Hostile
going.
service.
Who's your Wally of the week?
Who was the
CP Vaughan has got a good one.
journal that did the Rashford looks rough?
Yeah.
The Rashford looks rough. But I just thought.
Oh yeah.
Let's get his fucking name.
I don't
I
understand.
did have a look at it before and I've forgotten.
And then people was replying said, "Oh, when I saw the Rashford image, I thought the same thing." But I just feel like.
But you know what? Yeah,
he's
taken 100 pictures that day. Do you know how hard it is to go?
No, my
keep
point was
smiling for 100 fucking pictures.
Do you know how hard it is to be happy?
He gets it's not that. He's saying They're saying he looks unkept because he doesn't have like a fresh trim.
Yeah,
but it's the
dream club of just let him go.
It's the micro-analysing of it though, because I think if he turned up with like a new haircut and a sharp trim, people would have did an article on him, but in another way, saying, "I don't care about football." And
Ben Wilcox.
What's his name?
Ben Wilcox.
The Widge.
Ben Wilcock.
Very nice.
Exactly.
Volley of the week, Jay.
Mine's Amorim's for cancelling our media pass.
That's a very good shout, though. You know,
right.
About the Mavs.
CP Vorney there.
What do you think about that?
The Mavericks.
Let's have a little chat about the Mavs.
I'm fuming.
Oh yeah, for
Luka Doncic.
trading Luka Doncic. I still don't.
How have you acted like it's the first time you heard of it? We were talking about it earlier.
Because I've got to pretend. I'm on. Do you know what I mean?
It's in character.
Hey, do you know
what I mean? It's not his first rodeo.
Sorry, Ronaldo.
Yeah, they're definitely. I don't know how that's good. Why they did that. Obviously I'm a Mavs fan.
Do you think you're a Mavs fan?
Yeah, I am.
See,
well, not anymore now.
I'm a bit weird. Like I support players, but don't you think the Mavs know something about it?
It's got.
There's a body under his patio.
Yeah.
He's got a dodgy knee. He's going to get deported. It's like they know something about it.
He was due for a huge
Trump's
contract,
gonna get him.
and they think he was putting too much weight on and not taking his conditions
because he had
seriously.
a Supermax contract of like 350
on the way.
But
it's a generational talent. It's like Barcelona going and shopping Lamine Yamal and swapping him for someone random. It doesn't make any sense.
Glenn F says Ronaldo is Wally of the week, maybe Joe. Cool.
Well, we're done, Glenn.
I don't know.
Glenn's always here. Just ignore him. He's all right.
We like Glenn.
He's all right, Glenn.
Glenn's my best mate. He always says nice things about
Adam
me,
is player
really
FC. See, I am in basketball.
Yeah.
I'm Jimmy Butler FC. Yeah. Where is Jimmy Butler going to go?
Right, we'll be back later on today. We've got loads coming up. We've got an interview with Nathan Salt from the Daily Mail, finding out what's gone on, what's going to happen tonight, and why it looks like nothing's going to happen. Also, me and you, Jay, we're going to be here tonight, aren't we?
Yeah.
To bring in the new year as the transfer deadline window slams shut right on our fingertips as we're trying to buy someone, pull someone through it.
I love Pritesh Patel's comment.
You love Pretty Patel?
You're the Wallies.
Yeah, you're the not me, you are. Right, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for Von Maxwell and David as well for becoming members. Thank you for joining us at home. We'll see you in a bit.